Let me tell you about the concept of what is called as the bioavailability. Right, bioavailability. Now, if you take the bioavailability, remember it is the fraction of the administered drug that reaches the systemic circulation in the unchanged form is called as bioavailability, right? So remember, it is not the entire drug which has been administered will enter into the systemic circulation. It is only the fraction of the administered drug will reach the systemic circulation in the unchanged form, and that is called as bioavailability. All right, so it is the fraction of administered drug, right? It is a fraction of administered drug which reaches the systemic circulation, right, which reaches the systemic circulation in the unchanged form. Right, which reaches the systemic circulation in the unchanged form. Now, for example, like if the drug is administered orally, right, for example, if the drug is administered orally, remember first it is absorbed into the portal circulation and then it reaches the liver. Okay, so it is absorbed into the portal circulation and then it enters into the liver. Alright, so once the drug is administered orally, it is absorbed into the portal circulation and it reaches the liver. Now here some of the drug may be metabolized, right, that is within the liver, some of the drug may be metabolized. So the drug whichever is metabolized in the liver, that is called as the first pass metabolism or the pre-systemic metabolism. Okay, so in the liver, some of the drug is metabolized, right, some of the drug is metabolized. Now the drug which has undergone metabolism in the liver, that is called as, right, that is called as the first pass metabolism, right, that is called as the first pass metabolism or the pre-systemic metabolism, right, that is called as the first pass metabolism or the pre-systemic metabolism. So the remaining part of the drug, right, the rest of the drug after metabolism in the liver will reach the systemic circulation and that will define the bioavailability. Okay, so after the first pass metabolism or the pre-systemic metabolism in the liver, the rest of the drug, right, rest of the drug will reach the systemic circulation. All right, now this is what is your bioavailability. Remember, thus the absorption and first pass metabolism are the important determinants of the bioavailability, right? So the two important determinants is, so remember, the absorption and as well as the first pass metabolism, right, as well as the first pass metabolism. These two are the important determinants of the bioavailability. Alright, so let me shortly summarize about the bioavailability what we have discussed. Remember, what exactly is your bioavailability is? It is the fraction of the administered drug that will reach the systemic circulation in unchanged form. That is what is called as your bioavailability. So once the drug is administered orally, first it is absorbed into the portal circulation and then it reaches the liver, and some of the drug may be metabolized within the liver, and that is what is called as the first pass metabolism or the pre-systemic metabolism. And after the first pass metabolism, the rest of the drug, it reaches the systemic circulation. And remember, the absorption and as well as the first pass metabolism, these are the two important determinants of the bioavailability. Now, a very important multiple choice question here is, when you give the drug by the intravenous route, the bioavailability is 100%. Why? Because when you are giving the drug by the intravenous route, it does not get metabolized either in the liver or within the intestine. So, remember, by intravenous route, the bioavailability of the drug is 100%. Right? The bioavailability of the drug is 100%. So, if you take the bioavailability by the intravenous route, the bioavailability is about 100%. And now, when you want to assess the bioavailability of the drug via the other route, right? If you want to compare the bioavailability of the drug by the other route, you can compare with the intravenous route. Why? Because the intravenous route, it is having 100% bioavailability. So, taking this into as a standard, you can compare the bioavailability of the drug by other route by your intravenous route. Now how can you compare with the intravenous route? You can compare with the intravenous route by assessing the concentration of the drug, that is area under the curve. Okay. So, for example, this is your AUC, that is area under the curve, and this graph is plotted against the time concentration, that is with the time what is the plasma concentration of the drug, right? With the time what is the plasma concentration of the drug. So remember, the concentration of a particular drug when given through other routes apart from the intravenous route can be calculated by comparing the area under the curve. So, right, it can be calculated by comparing, the area under the curve, that is area under the plasma concentration, right, area under the plasma concentration time curve. Okay, so it can be calculated by comparing the AUC for, right, for the intravenous route and for the desired route. Right, now for example, you want to compare or you want to assess the bioavailability of the drug when you are giving through the oral route. So what you have to do is, via the oral route, with the time, what is the concentration of the drug in the body, you should be able to make out. And that particular graph of the oral route should be overpolated or should be replicated over the intravenous route AUC. So when you apply that oral route AUC over the intravenous route AUC, then you can assess the bioavailability of that particular route, whichever you want to. Alright, next. Now, so area under curve, it is just a comparison, right? It is just a comparison of the bioavailability of the drug when you are given via intravenous route comparing with the other routes. Alright, next. Now the bioavailability, it can also be calculated by comparing the excretion in the urine. Okay, so it can also be calculated by comparing, right, by comparing the excretion of the drug in urine, right? Excretion of the drug in the urine. Now you take AUC, right? You take AUC. AUC, it tells about the extent of absorption of the drug, right? AUC, it tells the extent of absorption of a particular drug. That is what is your AUC. Whereas you take the Tmax, right? You take the Tmax. Tmax, it tells about the time to reach the maximum concentration of the drug. Okay, so right, time to reach the maximum concentration of the drug. So what does this tells you? This tells you the rate of absorption. Right, this tells you the rate of absorption. Now we have another component which is called as the Cmax. Right, the other component which is called Cmax. Cmax is the maximum concentration of the drug that is obtained. So maximum concentration of the drug that is obtained. So that is your Cmax. Now what is the multiple choice questions here? Remember, the multiple choice question which are asked is, what are the drugs with high first pass metabolism, right? What are the drugs which are having high first pass metabolism? Okay, now I'll tell you a mnemonic for this. Now let me tell you the drugs with high first pass metabolism. Right, with high first pass metabolism. Now let me tell you this in the form of a mnemonic. Remember, nitrates, they have very high first pass metabolism. So the mnemonic is, right, the mnemonic is nitrates, they have right, nitrates, they have large, right, they have large pre-systemic metabolism. Right, they have large pre-systemic metabolism. Now the word N stands for nitrates, right? The word H stands for hydrocortisone. Right, the word H stands for hydrocortisone. The word L stands for lignocaine. The word P stands for propranolol. The word S, it stands for salbutamol. Alright, and the word M stands for morphine. Alright, so these are the drugs, right? You take the nitrates which are used in angina. You take hydrocortisone, it's a corticosteroid. You take lignocaine, it's a local anesthetic. Propranolol, it's a non-selective beta blocker. The salbutamol, it is your beta 2 agonist. And you take morphine, which is an opioid. So these are the drugs which have the high first pass metabolism.